After you've done all the modeling, texturing, maybe animation too, the last thing you are going to do is rendering. You will probably use one of the two built-in render engines with Blender, but you can have so many more other options to choose from. In this video, we are going to see a list of all Blender render engines out there. So, let's get started. This video is brought to you by Learn to Make Looping Animations, a Blender course that teaches you to create 4 high-quality looping animations step by step. Check it up in the link below. Radeon Pro Renderer. Pro Renderer is AMD powerful physically based rendering engine that uses GPU and CPU to produce stunning photorealistic images in Blender. AMD is actually one of the biggest contributors in Blender Development Fund, so I think they are going to improve this render engine even more in the future. By the way, the Pro Renderer is available as a free plugin for Blender, and the engine also comes with a big library of materials to get you started. NVIDIA Omniverse. NVIDIA, like AMD, is one of the biggest contributors in the Blender Development Fund, and NVIDIA Omniverse is the render engine that the company is working on. It's available for many 3D softwares, including Blender. After the 3.0 release of Blender, it was delivering extraordinary performance gains powered by the NVIDIA RTX GPUs, with added Universal Scene Description (USD) support for NVIDIA Omniverse. With Omniverse, you can utilize the ray tracing cores of an NVIDIA RTX GPU and get lightning speed and performance. LuxCore Renderer. LuxCore Renderer is a free and open source render engine, originally started as Lux Renderer in 2008. Later in 2013, the old C API suffered from many limitations when it comes to the modern features. The team wrote a new engine based on the C++ and the Python API, and LuxCore is the name of the new C++ and Python API. Anyway, for us to use LuxCore Renderer on Blender, we need to install an add-on called Blend LuxCore. After that, you can have accelerated rendering of indirect light and other features that the company promises. Indigo Renderer. Indigo Renderer is an unbiased photorealistic GPU and CPU renderer aimed at the ultimate image quality. It was originally released as a freeware, then in 2009 the 2.0 release was a commercial product. It comes with a new multi-GPU engine and a powerful integrated denoiser, also light map baking and support for subsurface scattering. Redshift is another fast and powerful render engine. It was created in 2012 by Redshift Rendering Technologies. Redshift is well known for rendering animations and VFX scenes. Cycles. Cycles is Blender built-in physically based path tracer for production rendering. It is designed to provide physically based results out of the box, with artistic control and flexible shading nodes for production needs. Also, it is a really easy to use render engine. Cycles was launched in 2011 by the Blender Foundation, and alongside the Blender 3.0 release, Cycles got a major core improvement under the name of Cycles X, which is a preparation for Cycles for the next 10 years. Which caused a big increase in performance and rendering speed. Another 2 engines I like to talk about are E-Cycles and K-Cycles, which are some highly optimized custom builds of cycles made by the Blender community that are really useful in some scenarios. Like K-Cycles is a good choice working with ultra lighting and post effects, and E-Cycles gives you more features like light linking and a better denoiser. Eevee is the second built-in render engine for Blender. It's a real-time render engine built using OpenGL, focused on speed and interactivity, while achieving the goal of rendering PBR materials. Using Eevee, you will get faster render times and an interactive user interface experience, but all of that comes with the cost of the quality. A side note here, in some scenarios, you can make your Eevee results look exactly the same as Cycles, but only if you manage to get the scene and the settings right. The Workbench Engine. The Workbench Engine is not a render engine that's intended to render final high-quality images. The Workbench is the engine that you use during modeling and animation previews. Its task in Blender is just to display objects on the 3D viewport that you are working on. Renderman. Renderman is a very powerful and efficient render engine made by Pixar Animation Studios. It is developed with input from 19 companies in the 1993. Pixar Animation Studio use it all the time to create the best 3D animation movies in the world, like Toy Story, Luca, and Lightyear. It's also used by well-known Hollywood studios too. The render engine is free to use only for non-commercial purposes. Also, Renderman gives you access to Lighting Toolbox by Pixar, one of the best lighting add-ons for Blender. Mold/Bear. First, to make it clear, Mold is the backend of Bear, which stands for Blender Extended Expressive Renderer. It is a free and open source real-time non-photoreal rendering engine. It's funded by the Blender community, and it's mostly used to render stylized art like anime, comics, and sketches. Octane. Octane, like Eevee, is a real-time render engine. It was the first commercially available unbiased ray tracer that fully utilized the GPU. This allowed users to modify scenes close to real-time. It was created by Refractive Software, which was acquired by Otoy in 2012. Octane now comes to Blender as one of the best rendering add-ons. VRay. VRay is created by Chaos Group in 1997, making it one of the oldest render engines out there. It is by far the best and the fastest render engine for Blender for both the CPU and GPU rendering. With VRay, you can have the best render quality, especially when your aim is realism. That's it for this video. Tell me in the comment below your preferred render engine and why. Make sure to subscribe for more videos like this. Goodbye.